Hello everybody, this is Briefcase bringing you the third game of the MLG North American League. This one's between Avanti's Angels and the Purple Canadians, and I'm happy to see the Purple Canadians. I've never seen them before, but repping Canada there, that's very nice of them, me being a Canadian boy as well. First, you got Purple Canadians banning out that OD. You see this a lot. You really don't want to have OD in the pool, especially if you're planning on running one of those very standard, very normal intelligence mids. You got Puck. You have I Hope Invoker. You have a bunch of others who are very popular as well. And OD is just completely wrecks their face. Shadow Fiend's actually surprisingly not too bad against OD. He does have a hard time actually getting the last hits for the souls against him though. But overall, he's not too bad. He's much better than say Puck or I want to go back to Invoker because I've been playing him so much recently and he's so much fun to play as a mid. But he really does need that mid. Avanti's Angels banning out Alchemist, not wanting to let him get that early 6 slot, which is really what Alchemist is very good at. He's not necessarily the absolute strongest late game carry in the entire game, but he gets 6 slotted and his farm is just so much faster than everybody else that he can usually dominate simply because of that. Purple Canadians banning out Abaddon as well, and Avanti's Angels banning out Timbersaw, both of which are, I mean, Timbersaw has been played recently as a mid, but usually you see him as an off-laner as well, but of course Bat is still in the pool, Wisp is as well. Last games I was casting, Wisp was always out, not to mention Batrider as well. Avanti's Angels picking up Weaver and Naga Siren, both very, pretty damn hard to kill. Weaver, of course, able to just go in and out of any lane all the friggin' time and really hard to lock down. Of course, Batrider with his lasso and blink, that is a pretty good way to actually lock down Weaver and get him enough. But if you can't burst him down within that 3 seconds, I believe lasso is, 3 to 3.5 to 4, within that 3 seconds, it can be a huge nightmare because he'll just time lapse out and he's away, and that's a wasted ult and pretty much all of that. Naga Siren, of course, very good for setting up kills, not to mention just has a great reset button for any team fight. But Purple Canadians has picked up Batrider, is one of the most picked heroes and banned heroes in the entire game. He's simply just amazingly so strong, and not only that, incredibly versatile. He can be run as a jungler where he stacks camps and then fireflies them with a million stacks of napalm on them. He can mid where sticky napalm is just so scary, and he can even be in. It's kind of a bit harder for him to be in the off lane for sure, but he can also be part of some aggressive tries and just napalming people and slowing them down and really zoning them out as well. Purple Canadians, though, picked up Gyrocopter as well. You see this as a carry pretty much all the time. It's pretty standard picks being picked out this time around. Haven't seen anything new yet. Would really love to, though, guys? I'd like the Abaddon ban out. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I haven't seen him in enough games to really say, yes, he's very important, but Visage being banned out as well, getting all the kind of bluey purples out of this pool this time around. Avanti's Angels has banned out Nyx as well. Nyx can be very scary for not only Weaver, but I guess not Naga Siren too much. She actually has a surprising amount of health, especially if she's run as a support. Usually see her go something along the lines of Urn into Heaven's Halberd type stuff, and with her huge amount of innate armor, she's one of the highest starting armors in the game, maybe the highest. She has 5, I think, at the very beginning. It can be very hard to actually burst her down with that amount of health. Not only that, now we have Purple Canadians banning out Queen of Pain, Avanti's Angels banning out Darkseer, not wanting to give them any really scary team fight, it looks like. Of course, Timber very good at that mid-game pressure and team fight. Avanti's Angels also picks up a Lifestealer, one of the strongest carries and one of the most used carries in pretty much all competitive Dota. Very scary and very good at diving as well. If things get a little too hairy, all you need to do is make sure that an enemy creep is nearby to infest and just run it all the way home. Purple Canadians now have picked up Rubik, probably my favorite character in the whole game. He is just too much fun. His personality, his voice acting, of course, just is completely spot on. But not only that, he is very good at just kind of interrupting what the opposing team wants to do all the time. If he picks up a Naga Siren Sleep, that's huge as well. Of course, Sakuchi, very strong for him to get. And pretty much, there's just a multitude of good spells for him to steal as well. Avanti's Angels now picking up Nature's Prophet, one of the strongest heroes, I think, in the game and in the meta pretty much all the time now. And he is just so good at making the other team have to split their resources. He is so good at split pushing, and if you don't deal with him early enough in the jungle farming his little heart out, it can be very difficult to actually stop him from, one, split pushing all the time, and two, eventually he usually gets enough farm to be almost played as a semi-carry, and that can be really scary around the 30-35 minute mark on its own anyways. So interested to see who Purple Canadians will pick up. Obviously Gyro can be run. He doesn't have to be run as a carry. You've seen that pretty much not exclusively, but I remember originally when Gyrocopter did come out, a lot of people went Ags on him and kind of went almost like a 3 position or a 4 position and just tried to get Ags, and beyond that, that was about it. Flat Cannon to kind of stop pushes, but beyond that, just got Ags on him and rushed that call down all over the map, and was trying to use them almost more like sun striking, and had kind of an invoker kind of feel to him. But he's run pretty much mainly as a carry nowadays, but I would love to see a team not use him as a carry and rock him over as a support or kind of like a mid role. And now Purple Canadians picking up Chen, and if they can play Chen really well, he has so much impact early to mid game, where that'll give Gyrocopter probably enough space to actually become quite a bit scarier. Of course, Avanti's Angels, they do have Nature's Prophet and Lifestealer and Weaver. They don't have too much early to mid game. Weaver is pretty consistent all the time, but he can fall early and mid pretty easily. Lifestealer usually needs to be around, usually basically needs Armlet to really have any sort of impact early game beyond maybe getting in like a lucky slow type stuff. Naga Siren's pretty good, as well as Nature's Prophet, but really all of those heroes come into their main stride later in the game. And now we have Avanti's Angels banning Storm Spirit, which I think is a really smart ban. Purple Canadians don't have a perfect mid yet, of course, unless they want to run Bat Rider, which is fine, just fine. Also considering Avanti's Angels does not seem to have their mid yet as well. Sometimes you can play Weaver mid as well, as he's quite good at diving, and if you give him a bottle, he's all the regen he needs and that sort of stuff, but he's not the best mid. He's not basically the mid you want to run usually.
10 seconds remaining.
Has picked up a Vengeful Spirit. I have seen Vengeful Spirit run as a mid before. That stun is pretty cheap to start, and not to mention the minus armor with the Scream can be pretty scary and can kind of give you the edge as far as killing creeps and denying creeps and what have you. But I mean, overall, usually you see Vengeful Spirit in part of like an aggressive try. You have that stun. I'm not sure how this is going to set up, though. I suppose it could be a pretty aggressive try with Lifestealer, Naga Siren, and Vengeful Spirit, while Nature's Prophet goes
5 seconds
solo top and Weaver is mid. This is a hard, I'm not exactly sure where they're going to be going. And now Purple Canadians going into the reserve time, not 100% sure who they're going to pick here. I think they probably need something along a 2 or a 3 role as far as farm goes. And I think that Storm was a really good pick-off by Avanti's Angels. That would almost suit this perfectly, I'm pretty sure. Because Storm can have a lot of impact kind of later in the game. Has picked up a Lone Druid, very good at farming, of course, and usually is pretty good at getting not only farm, but pretty safe farm as well. So, gonna be interested to see how this goes and exactly how it's all played out. Both teams kind of standard. You don't see a lot of Vengeful Spirit, but I've seen her in a few pro games, and it's usually worked out for them. So that swap can just be so strong. Of course, swap, one of the only ways to really stop a Bat Rider with BKB, which, I mean, more likely than not, he will go. And I think that's probably why Avanti picked up this Venge. Simply because Bat Rider is so scary at just taking people out. Of course, Rage and BKB means nothing to the lasso, and because of that, can be really scary. So, oh, but then again, Naga, of course, Ensnare will still also get rid of that Bat Rider when he does blink in and tries to lasso. So it's kind of, I'm not sure. They do have quite a few tricks in their sleeve to take care of the lasso blink. But overall, I wouldn't be too scared of it. They look like they're in a pretty good position at the moment. Fact and Fiction might be an offlane Prophet. I think so. Offlane Prophet probably going to be using his trees as best he can to try to pull the camps towards him, much the same way Lone Druid does when he's on the dire side and goes offlane as well. Shout out to the gods. He is casting this game as well. He's actually the official broadcaster, what have you. I'm just doing a replay cast, so we'll see how it goes. Trying to get in some tournaments soon, but we'll see. We'll see. And let's go over who's playing who. You got Scar as the lifestealer, Avanti, and it's... Are you maybe the captain? You must be. Avanti's Angels. And he is kind of an angel. Oh ho ho, the fun of it. Avanti is playing the Vengeful Spirit. Yam Hayton. Yam Hayton is playing Naga Siren. You have Jenkins as the Weaver. And rounding out, you have Fact or Fiction. Maybe just Fact Fiction? I'm going to call him Fact or Fiction. Fact or Fiction playing as the Nature's Prophet. On Team Purple Canadians, you got Tiddylicious playing as the Chen. You have Orbit as the Batrider mid. You have Ablaze as Rubik. You have Chaser being the carry gyrocopter. It almost seems certain. And then you have Heart Minzy. I'm probably just going to call him Minzy. Minzy as the Lone Druid. Doing fine, just fine. And now we have this Weaver versus Batrider mid. I would give this matchup mostly to Batrider. He can usually outlast hit with Sticky Napalm pretty well. If he gets enough stacks on Jenkins, it can be really scary, and he can kind of consistently bring him down. But of course, Jenkins did come prepared, does indeed have a magic stick, and that is probably the best regen item you could possibly have when you're up against a bat. It is just so good. Every single Sticky Napalm is 15 life for you, and 15 mana. But that was only 2 or 3 hits, as well as a Flame Break, and he was already at half health. He already did use his magic stick as well. He is going to be having a rough lane, it looks like. And in the bottom, Gyro has free farm. You have Rubik pulling these two. Ablaze is pulling these two camps just to guarantee that Gyro is doing fine, just fine. Oh, look at the little purple Canadian flags. I'm quite happy with that. Representing Canada, super into it. Yam Hayton as well is running around. That's a nice looking bear right there. I haven't seen that one before, but I haven't played with too many high-end players. Factor Fiction is just jungling, and that is it. Has opted to go the Ring of Basilius. That's usually what you see as well. Yam Hayton trying very hard to disrupt this bear, pulling anything, and it looks like Avanti has just been pulling creeps and trying to guarantee that this Lone Druid gets as little experience as humanly possible. And of course, this is a very scary lane if you do ever get close. This ensnare plus a 2-second stun guaranteed. Oh no, 1.4-second stun from Magic Missile, my bad, as well as Scar with his open wounds. He needs to get quite a bit closer now to actually use it, but still can be very scary. Jenkins, though, he does look like he's picked up his magic wand. All it does is let him have additional charges. It doesn't actually give you more per charge, so overall is not going to be helping him too much, but that doesn't really matter. It looks like Orbits is bottle crowing, is indeed, and down the other rest of Avanti's Angels are rotating. The two supports are rotating down with the smoke to see if they couldn't pick off this bat, but I think they know that they're a little bit wise to it, especially with this sentry right here. They absolutely know that something is happening, and he definitely did see them. So kind of looks like it's going to be probably a wasted smoke, but now it looks like the two are also rotating down bot, going around and trying to get up Minzy. Minzy was already in trouble even before Scar did anything, and of course Bear blocking them out. Very good use of the Bear, using that hold position pretty well and getting quite a bit of damage on this lane, and that is a lot of wasted time. That is a wasted smoke as well. Mid, you have Jenkins doing pretty damn good against Orbit when it comes right down to it. I don't even need to talk about what's happening bot. Chaser is just having all the time in the world to farm up whatever he wants. And with that, this Lone Druid is doing fairly well in the off lane, is already level 3, is getting an alright amount of experience now, and the Bear, of course, doing a little bit of damage. This Bear gets quite a lot scarier once Lone Druid hits level 5. That's when he can actually root people, and that's really when it gets a little bit terrifying. And he does have the Cauldron, of course. Raise your cauldrons. He does indeed have the Cauldron, giving you that nice extra effect on the root, and now doing just so much damage with those sticky napalm hits, because I'm not sure if does it add additional pure damage, or does it add all damage from Batrider gets amplified, except for Radiance and Orb of Venom. So it's just all damage in general. That's pretty amazing. So I suppose even if you Dagoned with that, that would do it as well. That's interesting. I had no idea about that. Nature's Prophet is here. Chen looking like he's messing that up just a smidge. Should have probably noticed it as well, but that's a-okay. Might have been able to get no, Holy Persuasion was definitely off cooldown, but now he does indeed get caught out Nature's Prophet with Rocket Barrage, level 3, doing so much damage. It's about, what is that, 600 damage or so at level 3. Just an obscenely strong nuke, and it looks like a Blaze was here to telekinesis them and guarantee that Nature's Prophet was not getting away. So overall, I suppose not a misplay by Chen, possibly just hurting him down south, where Gyrocopter and a Blaze, Chaser and a Blaze were simply just waiting. And with that, that's a free tier 1 as well. They have a reinforcement, or a fortification, but they do not use it, because obviously it is not a good use of it at the moment. Minzy is still not level 5. The bear is running around. He's trying to pull creeps as best he can, but he can't get exactly the farm that he wants. Orbit now actually doesn't have enough mana to really sticky napalm or anything. Jenkins has been using this magic wand to really good effect, and now actually has a bottle as well, and that'll probably turn it, as far as the regen tide goes, in favor of Jenkins. P-Orbit, though, he is farming pretty well. He wants to get up to that Blink Dagger, and I don't think he's going to get an early Blink Dagger, but he is Bottle Crowing to his heart's content, Bottle Crowing all day long, and so his regen, he's probably never ever going to fall when it comes right down to it. Not to mention he has Chen and Rubik to a lesser extent guarding those runes for him. But Jenkins, all the while, also has Fact or Fiction guarding those runes. It looks like he's going bot now to try and get as much experience as he possibly can. Experience and farm whenever he can pick it up. And it looks like those Trents are just not quite going to get that Mud Golem. But with all the free farm that Chaser has had the entire game, he has now a free Phase Boots available to him. And that is really going to make it a lot easier for him to, one, get away, and not only that, but chase as well. Batrider has picked up an invisibility. It looks like there was a race for it. Jenkins did not quite get there in time. Bat really needed that regen as well. He did not want to wait for this Crow to get here, because that would have been a huge detriment. He would have been... There's no way he would have been able to harass Jenkins or even get in lane. But with this, he does have Lasso available. He probably wants to get the stacks up to at least 3 or so. Jenkins does have time lapse though, so he'll definitely have to try to kill him within that time. He might want to try to just slowly get him down. But of course, he knows Jenkins will be bottle crowing, and in this moment, this is probably his only window where he might be able to kill him. If he gets more... He gets probably about 3 or so stacks on him, gets a good Firefly and Flaming Lasso on him, and finishes it up. Or possibly even Flame Break into those two things. I think that's the only way to do it, because if he does not Flame Break it in time, that is simply gonna be a time lapse, and that's back to full health. It looks like Chen and Gyro and a Blaze trying to set up a gank on this Prophet, Factor Fiction, and it looks like he doesn't quite know what's up. He will get Telekinesis, and this will be him dying for sure. Trying to do a little preemptive right there, but the Centaur stun was too on target to even let him get into the call down, and that might be a second tower for them. Now, Lone Druid has hit level 6, and with that comes a bunch of free experience. Not experience, a bunch of free health. And with, not to mention that, the ability to transform, which I'm sure you've all seen the play of the day type videos, where he actually, like, transforms away from a lot of damage and a lot of shots. And now that is 2 towers, I think, for Gyrocopter, as well as free farm all game. He is already at 2,200 at the moment, and if we look at these last hits, he is leading the pack pretty well, and his net worth is very high, already at 8 minutes, doing a little bit of damage to this tier 3. Pretty scary already. As far as mid is concerned though, they are right on par when it comes right down to it. This Weaver though, there is no rune there. He must know it. P-Orbit must know that the rune isn't there as well. Of course he can. Of course he knows it. He must be telling Chen to go get it, but of course Chen is a little bit busy at the moment. And now Jenkins now with this haste rune, I'm not sure if he can die with it. He doesn't really have it at the moment. Oh no, Minzy though does get the Nature's Prophet ult as well. He might have to try to transform a few times, but in cops a Blaze. Nature's Prophet is popping in. Chen ult was used as well. Minzy will get away. No, there are no roots coming down though. A fall call down is happening. PL Chaser though, these Trents are very annoying to him. Scar looks like he might get caught out. His rage is still going. Only has it for about 1 more second. PL is here. Couldn't quite lasso him in time, but that's a-okay. And Jenkins now looks like he came back and just guaranteed the Lone Druid's death. And now he does not want to use time lapse. Doesn't even have the mana for it at the moment. Chen is running around. Does kill this creep. Good for him. And Yam Haten now rotating bot and just trying to get up to probably level 6 so they can bring the noise on these team fights and really guarantee some pretty big hits. course, Nature's Prophet's farm is not where he wants it to be. He usually wants to be leading the pack as well, but I mean, he is having a hard time as it is. But you see, this is kind of the farm that you don't want to see as Team Avanti's Angels. Your two supports, 700 and 600 gold respectively, they are probably have about a third as much farm as the opposing supports, and that is very scary to be in. And if we look at the gold graph, you can see that right now, and if you look at the experience graph, it's also in favor of the Purple Canadians.
Warriors of the wood.
Now, you have a sentry being thrown down by Jenkins, probably just trying to make sure that no other sentry is around here. He is very susceptible to being ganked at the moment, and now Batrider has gotten a Blink Dagger, has not used it yet, and will probably want to save it and guarantee a kill with it. That's usually what you want to do, and what you see as a Batrider still also has double damage is very scary now. And looks like Jenkins is just scouting the jungle a little bit, might be trying to look and see if he can't pick off a Chen. Of course, he does not have any runes in his bottle to do so, but might also be trying to pick off this lone druid. Can be a nightmare if he did get rooted, though, when he was trying to do that. And now it looks like Ablaze is up top, just trying to get to level 6, has indeed done so, and with that will come a slew of new abilities at his disposal. P-Orbit, though, hiding that just a little bit, has not revealed it yet, probably wants to go into Yam Hatton. You could definitely kill him if he does, if he has the mana for the combo. Does not quite have it yet, though. Is going up top, probably wants to get Scar with it, Avanti, though, and now Avanti being completely caught out. Getting lassoed all the way home. He's going to be stunning him, but it does not matter at all. Rubik picking up the kill with that Fade Bolt, and very easy kill for them. Bat not even having to use his Blink Dagger there. He still has it available to him, just waiting another 90 or so seconds, 70 now seconds, for that lasso to go off cooldown. And that's what's so scary about Bat, is once he does have this Blink Dagger, as well as the mana to pretty much lasso each time, if you have pretty much any level of coordination as a team, every single time that lasso is off cooldown, that is almost a guaranteed kill, and that is very scary. Up runs Yamanten. He is 6 now. They do have Siren Song available to them if they ever need to just set up these big team fights. Ablaze has picked up the stun. Telekinesis him as well. Is he going to toss it? He does not toss. Oh, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Probably just trying to pick off Ablaze and make sure he's gonna die. Does get the stun off on Scar. Doesn't matter. Ablaze is completely caught out. There's nothing they can do. Actually heals him, and he barely gets away. The tower is focusing him. Just barely dies there. Avanti's Angels. Avanti falling really badly now. Orbit now running away as well. It does have Firefly up. He won't fall at all. PL Chaser, though, trying to be man mode and get everybody he can. Orbit is now running away. I wonder if Jenkins could capitalize on this. Does have time-lapse available. Orbit is here as well. Scar looks like he infested into Factor Fiction to get back into the fight. Very good synergy right there. And now we have Tittylicious just trying to TP out. There is no stun for them, and he will get away as well.
Has fallen.
And if we look at the gold graph or the experience graph, we'll see who that favored. It looks like it favored Avanti's Angels ever so slightly. Not the biggest swing in the world, but overall a fairly good team fight. And I think that Song of the Siren was very useful in that. Just trying to split everybody up. Nobody wanted quite to get caught into it, and they were able to capitalize on that still. And Ablaze just barely died to that tower. I think if he had not, that would have been about an equal trade. But so sadly, he just barely got away. He got one shot, and he had one more way to go, and he just could not get away in time. Sadly enough, Minzy now does have a Hand of Midas on himself and gives it back to the bear. That is how you generally use a Hand of Midas, is you use it on your hero, give it back to the bear, because if you do use it from the bear, I don't believe you get any extra experience. You still get the gold, but really, Hand of Midas is very useful for that experience gain over the gold. Pretty much more so than anything. Tittylicious is doing fine, does not quite have his mech yet, is quite close to it though, a simple 500 gold away. Unlucky for him on these creep choices, of course. This tornado can be pretty annoying overall, but I mean, you usually want either the troll with the ensnare, that's very good. Thunderclap and the Hellbear Smasher do quite a bit of damage, especially early on, but overall, I think the other two creeps are far more utilitarian. The Centaur Stomp, not to mention the aura it gives you, as well as the Troll aura and Ensnare. It's just so strong. Of course, Hellbear Smashers are still very good at tanking towers, and they can do it all day long if they ever want. Avanti Probably really wants to stop this, really wants to go in the deny, but it's just so unsafe for him. There's no chance of it going in as well. Of course, Rubik now has his magic wand. Very good item to pick up on pretty much any support. You pretty much always want that. It can save your life so many times. Arcane Boots, of course, also very good for Rubik, and he's pretty much, I mean, he's pretty much got all he's ever want. He has, and he still has some money left over to have these sentry wards. And if we're looking at the net worth, oh, a smoke going on for Orbit. Do they have? They do. Smoke going on for this purple Canadian team. It looks like they might want to bait this out with Chaser. They know that he's up here solo, and he is definitely going BKB. But I wonder if the opposing team knows it as well. They probably are just running around, seeing if they can't get it. The smoke will dissipate right now, and they must know he's here waiting. So P-Orbit now does Firefly in, and Scar being completely caught out. Gets lassoed. They do not stack their stuns as effectively as you want. But, of course, Yamhaten using the song and just saying, no, you can't have our Scar. They look like they still want to go for it, though, because, I mean, why not? All 5 are here. He can't live through all of them. Ablaze, though, being caught out. 3 of them are here. Yamhaten is here as well, not to mention a tower, and not the best of ganks for Purple Canadians. They are having a pretty rough time with this one, and now the rest of Avanti's Angels is running in, trying to guarantee that no more funny business does happen. Factor Fiction has gotten his hand of Midas up, and with that, that'll help him farm at least a little bit and kind of recoup his net worth. He is up to where the Lone Druid is at the moment, so he is kind of coming back, but still, he is a little bit behind for what you would normally see in a Nature's Prophet. And now it looks like the rest of the team, 4 other people, 4 of Avanti's Angels up top, trying to just guarantee this tower. Why not push it? You just had a pretty successful gank deny here, and this stupid tornado that everybody hates is just definitely going to be annoying everybody. Giving up a little bit of gold to this gyrocopter, why not? Give him about 60-odd gold. Trents do not give very much bounty, but that is A-okay. Probably just expected them to run out at the moment on their timed lives, but now you have Factor Fiction on bot, trying to split push as well. He realizes that everybody's kind of, looks like they're dedicating a lot of time up here. Gyrocopter, of course, does not have a TP available to him, has not gotten the side shop yet, and it looks like Orbit now getting really annoyed by that little bug. Jenkins looks like he wants to dive it as well, and why not? Orbit does have ult up and blinks away, but Purple Canadians now getting a tower top, and that's fine, just fine. But are they going to trade it? They are not. Gyrocopter does get bought with that TP, trying to do as much damage to this tower as possible with those Trents, but he does use his flat cannon and just gets a little bit more gold, and he is leading the pack at the moment. Of course, Lifestealer, though, a very strong, race car Lifestealer, it seems. You have Phase Boots as well as Yasha. Very scary, very hard to actually get away from him, and one of the reasons that a lot of people get race car Lifestealer, of course, and really increases move speed and what have you, is, of course, it lets you chase much better, it lets you get away much better, and beyond all that, you almost get more hits on people because you're so much faster than them. You can actually use your cooldown timer and to guarantee that you're gonna hit them every single, I shouldn't say cooldown timer, you can use the small amount of time between each of your attacks to actually run pretty much faster than them and beyond on par with them, and that kind of guarantees you'll get each one of your hits in and not kind of stagger back and miss out on anything. A lot of creeps mid, 2 trolls summoning all the skeletons in the world. They're good meat shields. They actually do not a bad amount of damage, just as much of a melee as a melee creep, and they look so cute in that little portrait right there. It looks like the bear sees what's going on up top. Some pretty strong push coming from Factor Fiction here. The bear, of course, will be a little bit annoying. He is not particularly good without a Radiance yet. He's not particularly good at clearing up these kinds of waves, and Prophet not sending out these Trents to do as much damage to the tower as possible, just running around and killing whatever he can get his hands on. It looks like Jenkins now has picked up a haste, might have wanted to go on a Blaze right there, and I can definitely see why. Don't think he actually would have been able to kill him, in all honesty. A Blaze, as soon as he seed him, probably would have stolen Sakuchi, and with that, definitely would have been running back. Chaser now, he's getting caught out by Jenkins. He does not want to get caught in this rocket barrage, though. It was just out of range of it. Does have haste, though, is running around. Ablaze is here. Does have the sentry, is going to time shift away and just get away, time lapse away, I should say. And now it doesn't matter. It has stolen Sakuchi. Very good steal to have on Rubik. Really lets him run in and engage with telekinesis on pretty much everybody, and it can be very scary for them. Avanti picking up some wards, just trying really hard to support as best he can, support his team, his Angels. I would say. Scar now, he is doing fine, just fine. Looks like he's going to be picking up a song. No, he's going to be going... Looks like Scar is going to be going for Sange and Yasha. Usually you don't get a belt of strength unless you're going Sange, and of course Sange and Yasha is very, very good, especially on a race car lifestealer, but one of the nice things about it is you can actually disassemble it, turn it into a Manta, as well as Heaven's Halberd, which I actually have yet to see in any match my entire life so far, but it is always a possibility, and I'm not sure why more people don't do it, especially for someone like Lifestealer as well. Of course, Sange and Yasha is very strong on him as well, but I don't know, I just feel like the extra strength that Heaven's Halberd gives him, not to mention just the huge amount of survivability it gives him as well, is very, very strong. It's like somebody has to use the washroom. Oh well. And this will give us a small bit of time to actually look at the items. You got Yamhaden getting an Urn of Shadows. Usually on Nagasiren, you now see slowly building up to a Heaven's Halberd. Gives her quite a bit more survivability. She already has a hugely innate amount of physical armor, and with that you just stack kind of health items on her and that sort of stuff. I've seen Vanguards on her before, and that works out actually surprisingly well as well, just because of her huge armor and ability to really get away. Weaver is doing fine, going right into a Lincoln's. Very, very understandable on that, considering telekinesis, flame lasso, homing missile I think works on that as well. So some very huge disables that of course you do not want to get caught up in. Not as Weaver with this pitifully small amount of health. Minzy is up top though, farming as best he can. Looks like he might be going straight for a Radiance after this Hand of Midas, understandably as well. That's a very, very strong item, especially against this lineup with Weaver, who loves to dart in and out of fights. That's a lot of damage to be doing to Weaver pretty much the entire team fight as well. Vengeful Spirit as well does not have the best strength gain in the world. It's not bad by any means, but it can be a pretty big nuisance to constantly be getting damage. And Nagasiren though is pretty okay at having a pretty large enough health pool to sustain everything. And now it looks like the Purple Canadians are up top. They probably want to push this tower, probably want to bait this out, maybe even with Chaser and see how it goes. He does have enough for call down as well as flat cannon and probably one rocket barrage by the time stuff actually gets hairy. Now he has enough for everything because of that ablaze mana that's just happened. But I mean, with that, Factor Fiction is going to push bot and do fine, just fine. Now has 3,400 gold as well. If you look at the net worth, he is caught up. He is almost at Lone Druid status, and that is fine, just fine. Chaser's doing fine now. Has a Helm of the Dominator. He does not yet have a creep stolen or dominated to try and stack those Ancients. Usually you see that. That's pretty much one of the main reasons to get Helm of the Dominator, beyond, of course, the lifesteal and armor, which is great, but really, as a gyro, you want to be doing that. P-Orbit, though, does not want to use this lasso yet on Scar, is just fire flying away. And now with that, Jenkins teleports into getting hurt a huge amount, and he is very, very low. He does not have his Lincolns yet. Everybody baiting out these heroes, just seeing if they can't get anything. But all the while, you have Factor Fiction down here, bot, trying really, really hard. There's the bat, though. He does have lasso available, trying to just bait out probably. Indeed, does bait out the trees, does not have Firefly, is going to get telekinesis up though, and Factor Fiction will definitely fall though. He's trying to bait out that, has lassos him in the last second of his animation as well, just doesn't even pull him back. He knows that he gets the kill. And with that, a tower, ooh, that could have been a deny. That seems like a little bit of a misplay by the Purple Canadians, but that tower for a kill, that's, I'd probably say that's a better trade for Avanti's Angels when it comes right down to it. Batrider, though, now almost does have Force Staff, of course, making his lasso so much scarier and completely separating somebody from the group by, like, you know, more than 600, 700 units. It's very, very scary. Bear just scouting stuff out, does have Midas available, probably wants to run up and use it, should be using it as well. Call down now is going to fall. Jenkins does get hit with it. A lot of people doing a lot of damage, but Chaser does have BKB. They realize they could all solo him now, but it doesn't really matter. Wow, that's really getting caught up in his rotors, isn't it? And now Bear running out, does not have the speed to actually catch anybody, but Orbit is here. Does not have Lasso available. Of course, Blink and Lasso can be kind of mana intensive. Does have enough just for that, and now Lasso is coming off cooldown. Probably might be able to catch one of them out if he saw them, but Firefly is off. Firefly is no longer on. And that can make it a little bit, quite a bit harder, in fact, as well. Does not quite have his Force Staff yet. If he had, that might have gone slightly differently. Overall, though, not too bad. Nature's Prophet now, though, has picked up his Shadow Blade. That was a couple minutes ago. And with that, he will be able to counter push and split push much more effectively. Although the Purple Canadians may want to invest a little bit into getting some more detection. I'm not sure how much they have already. They have 1 sentry on Tiddylicious, as well as, does Ablaze have anything? Ablaze does not. And Batrider has not picked up a gem yet. Does have a Dust available, which, I mean, Batrider is a very lovely, not counter, but deterrent to Factor Fiction going into towers. Because even if he does, as soon as he sees a TP, to a tower, he needs to either start teleporting away at the moment, which I'm not sure. It takes 3 seconds to cast. If he does not start teleporting away fast enough or Shadow Blading away fast enough and picking maybe like a wonky weird route to get away, he might just get lassoed as well as dusted. And that is pretty much a guaranteed kill from Batrider onto this Nature's Prophet. He doesn't really have the damage to live through it, or the health, or that sort of thing. Tiddylicious, though, does have 2 trolls coming up, doing a little bit of damage. It looks like Avanti being caught out as well. Doesn't get the stuns. He does have lasso available, just guaranteeing the kill, making sure that it happens. Factor Fiction pops in, though. Avanti is not dead yet. He's still getting burned. It's not enough, though. They really want to get Orbit. He's been doing too well all game. Yamaten does not have Sing available. Tiddylicious, though, running away, and everybody porting in, and for nothing. So Rubik did fall just then. A sad day for him, but not the end of the world. And if we look at this, we have 2 kills now for Tiddylicious. None for Scar. He is not doing too good for that. And 1 for Chaser at the moment as well. And with this, it looks like after realizing that everybody had to TP away, they know that they're pretty much safe to get this. Scar is here as well. That negative armor is going to be helping a little bit. Nature's Prophet will parp in, and it looks like Avanti's Angels are going to pick up this completely and utterly free Roche. Very nice pickup for them. And this race car lifestealer is now just going to have the time of his life. Avanti is working towards a mechanism, it looks like. Fact or fiction, not sure what his next item is going to be. Does not really matter. I'm more wondering about what Lone Druid's item is going to be. He did just spend a huge amount of money. Was it a relic? It was indeed. Going to be going that Radiance Bear. Very good at upping your farm. It's a little bit late when it comes right down to it. He opted to get Phase Boots, Orb of Venom, Hand of Midas, Stout Shield, 3 branches, a Tranquil Boots, and any number of Scrolls of TP before he got even the Sacred Relic. And usually when you do want to go Radiance Bear, you kind of want it to go a little early, because yeah, Radiance is just so much stronger early in the game and can really be a headache for people like Weaver or Jenkins. Now that he has a Lincoln Sphere, he's a little bit more resilient. He's got 1200 HP now instead of 900 or 600 was what you have when you're really low on Weaver. And now he's going to be substantially harder to kill. I mean, his time lapse is level 2, making it quite a bit easier. Sakuchi level 4. Cooldown on that is just abysmally small. 6 seconds is the cooldown. But really, it's kind of 2 because it lasts 4 seconds. So you really only have 2 seconds of down Sakuchi time. And now, it looks like there probably was a pretty big stack here. He is sitting at some pretty high gold at the moment, this Gyro, but Batrider has finished up his Force Staff, and that can be huge in pretty much any fight. It doesn't need to be a team or a gank, just anything. Naga Siren, though, has picked up a Medallion of Courage, giving her even more armor. She is quite resilient, especially this Gyrocopter and Lone Druid. They just can't do enough to him. You got Avanti and Factor Fiction just clearing up a little stack here. Nothing too exciting going on. Avanti getting closer and closer into that mechanism, though. A pretty slow one at that, but not sure what Factor Fiction is going to be building with Ultimate Orb. I suspect a Sheep Stick. It is just too invaluable in this fight. Also, a very good way to deal with this Batrider, who, as far as I can see, is nowhere near getting a BKB. And until he does, that is going to be a terrific way to deal with him. Ablaze now dewarding a little bit. Bucky being completely caught out by Jenkins. Is trying to TP away. Will they have the damage? They do indeed have the damage. And a little bit of a misplay by Chen there. Popped his ult. Not in time, though. Waited a little bit too long there. And that might have been enough to save him. But it doesn't really matter too much anymore. Everything is over with. And, I mean, Rubik died. So sad. Minzy now trying to farm a little bit more. He does have Radiance. This will increase his farm pretty seriously. Not to mention his ability to just run it around and be pretty annoying to the opposing team. Of course, Lifestealer is very good at killing the bear. Just does a lot of damage because of this bear's very high health. But there he is running around. Can't quite attack. That's fine. He's just going to do his burn damage to everybody. Scar doesn't even seem to care, though. And Orbit, of course, does have Blink available. Blinks very shortly. Maybe he wants to continue on this. The bear looks like he will fall. Does indeed. Gives 300 away. Did not resummon it in time. Jenkins is here, though. Oh, barely. Almost missing out that last one. And now, the most dickish pause I've ever seen. No, more or less. I'm sure there's a legitimate reason for this. It looks like Gyrocopter. Some lag happening right there. But I'm going to move away from this because it's making a horrible noise. And let's go see what Factor Fiction's doing. Looks like he's just farming, and now he's pretty damn close to getting his sheep stick. He's only, what, 800 away or so? Pretty close, and with that is a very big item pickup. That'll let you gank pretty much anybody you want. And now, let's get through this. All the while, Jenkins is here. No BKB, though, on anybody, and that has just been used so well lately. This game, just using the Sing to guarantee that your carries and your mids and what have you do not die. Very good use of it. Just a reset button. That's all. Picking off a tower and then just saying, oh, that's it. That's all we need. We got the tower. We can just teleport back, and nobody can do anything. Because I don't even think... Does Gyro have the BKB yet? He does indeed. He does have the BKB. He does have Eagle Song. Gyro can be there and can do quite a bit of damage, but... And this Gyro, comparatively, at least to the last Gyro I casted about, has opted to get Homing Missile, which I quite like, because at level 4, it actually does do a substantial amount of damage, especially to supports. But even beyond that, that stun can be pretty invaluable sometimes. I'm not saying it's really useful all the time. It's not a guaranteed stun or anything like that. But it can be pretty nice, especially if you're chasing someone down at the last second. Not very good against Jenkins, of course. Pretty good against Avanti, though, not to mention Yam Ha-10. I'm not sure if you can actually mirror image out of it. You might be able to, as soon as it's coming very close to you, you might be able to mirror image out. But that's fine, just fine. Scar is doing fine. Has picked up an ultimate orb on Lifestealer. I suppose could be going for a Lincoln's as well, just to really guarantee that he never gets lassoed, and because really the only thing that Purple Canadians has that will really interrupt a Lifestealer from dealing a huge amount of damage is lasso. That goes through rage, it goes through BKB, that sort of stuff, but it does not. But Lincoln's will pop it. Lincoln's will definitely stop that. So I think he is indeed going Lincoln's. A pretty nice idea of a pickup for that. And with that, Scar will pretty much have free reign to attack everybody on the opposing team. So the Purple Canadians might want to start thinking about getting some Ghost Scepters on them. At least on the supports, at least. Chen now getting closer and closer to a 4-staff. He's fairly close, 300 gold away. Nothing too bad. Of course, Batrider is here, popping his Firefly, seeing if he can't pick anybody off, searching around. You might find Avanti in the jungle, does indeed, but Avanti is here, might try and do it. They pick up the mid tower, and with that, just scouting around, trying to guarantee that no funny business happen, no giant team fights. But Fact or Fiction and Jenkins are bought, doing whatever they can to try to push these towers. Of course, does now have Sheepstick. Batrider is not so scary anymore. Jenkins is, along with Jenkins here, can be very terrifying. It looks like they might want to go all in the mid here and just try and get whatever they possibly can. Trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. They don't want to trade, though, but of course Jenkins and Factor Fiction are just doing a huge amount. Jenkins is coming back, realizing that Factor Fiction can be there all day long. Scar is here, just absolutely melting Gyro. Gyro barely dies in the last second there. Scar does not quite have it. He did have his Lincolns. It was popped, though. Infest in the last second. I'm sure that Chen had no idea he was there. If he did, it would have sent him back. But with that, looks like Minzy will fall as well. Vengeful Spirit has paused the game. Maybe some more I was going to say some more lag, but Yam-Haten has indeed DC'd. And this will give me a little bit of an opportunity to drink some of my fine, fine lemon water. A relatively slow game so far as kills are concerned, but some pretty action-packed team fights nonetheless, just with many survivors, it seems. Delicious is definitely getting away. There is a double damage rune available up top if anybody wants to, but Jenkins opted not to actually teleport back. I thought he was going to. Nature's Prophet probably did, though. Nature's Prophet did teleport back. Looks like he fell, was not able to contribute too much to the fight as far as I could tell, but Jenkins opting not to instead. He did use his TP, but kind of bluffed it out, and now it's going to be pretty hard for him to get away. No, when he's got security, it will be fine. Orbit has used his Flaming Lasso, though. They must know that. So it's going to be quite hard for the Purple Canadians to stop this, at least the melee racks, going down to Jenkins. He does not do too much damage, so it might take a little bit of a while. And he might be a little bit too scared of this Batrider. But without Flaming Lasso and without Firefly, I think that Jenkins could probably take him for sure. Especially with the fact that once he does get Flaming Lasso, it doesn't really even matter. He has Lincoln Sphere. Possibly one thing that might have happened that I didn't catch because I wasn't looking at Jenkins all game long was maybe he TP'd in and then did use time-lapse to get back down here. And with the cooldown that is on time-lapse, I think that might be of what happened. I think he went in, did a little bit of damage, did whatever he could, probably killed Gyrocopter or so, and then time-lapsed back. And if we look at the net worth, now we have Nature's Prophet coming into his own. We have Lifestealer doing very well as well, and three of the three top spots now are held by Team. Oh, what's Avanti? Avanti's Angels. There it is. Almost forgot it for a second. Avanti has smoked up, going into the jungle, seeing if maybe they can't catch somebody. Not sure exactly what he was thinking. Seems almost like a wasted smoke, but maybe not. Of course, Roshan is still on cooldown for another 3 minutes. Nothing big's gonna happen there. Yam-Haten, of course, has Song, wants to definitely up that at least one more time before he has to use it. Reducing that cooldown by 60 seconds is pretty big this late in the game. You have Orbit flying around, seeing if he can't catch anybody out. There's nobody around, though. Using his bottle charges as best he can, getting that double damage as well. And now it looks like Jenkins might want to go in for this Chaser. Chaser, of course, does not have a huge amount of damage yet. And these little bugs are just so annoying against these creeps. They instantly start attacking all of them. It just seems like such a waste, but that is one of the best spells that Weaver has when it comes right down to it. Surprisingly good. I think a lot of people underestimate the Swarm, as it were. It's the really long duration. The attack damage does not matter really too much, but when it comes right down to it, the attacks to destroy is 8. That's quite a lot, and the armor reduction can be huge in team fights, or at the very least, very beneficial. You have Minzy up top. It looks like he does not have a bear available to him. I can't see it anywhere on the map. So I'm gonna go with he doesn't have a bear. Yeah, probably 2 dying, probably resummoned in that last fight and had it die as well. Not the end of the world though. It will be back in 4, 3, 2, 1. Bear. There it is. Does indeed have his bear. Has Radiance and the gold on it. And the Midas there. But Jenkins now, he does have 3,000 as well as the Demon Edge. Might be going Chrysalis or MKB. Usually you see MKB on Weaver simply because his Gemini attack also has a chance to do that small stun. And Roshan is back in 1 minute. And they must know it is coming up. Scar will really want that Roshan or Weaver, making both of them very hard to kill. Avanti, of course, just doing whatever he can. Has finished his mech. It's not really very early. It's pretty damn late for a mech, but it doesn't really matter when it comes right down to it. Yam-Haten, of course, did get his level 2 Song of the Siren, and that's going to reduce the cooldown by 60 seconds, and that can be absolutely huge. And now they must know that Roshan is respawning very soon, sending out these early illusions to try and scout and see if the Purple Canadians have the exact same idea as them. Of course, the bear is here, though, to try to deny all of that and make sure that they're scouting that out as well. He does indeed have a javelin now as well. No Heaven's Halberd yet, which is very, very strong against the bear. It just instantly stops him, and all he can really do is the burn damage. Jenkins is here as well, just trying to make sure and see if it's there. It's not there quite yet, but now it is. Scar running in as well. 2 Lincolns on the 2 carries, making them very, very hard to pick off. Good item pickups by Team Avanti's Angels now, just trying to make sure that nobody quite gets lassoed. It looks like the Purple Canadians want to go in and fight this, but being slightly too timid. I don't think that they realize just how fast that is falling. And now Orbit is here, does get ensnared, tries to force staff away. Everybody, and by everybody, I mean Orbit, has already used it. Will he be able to blink away? Should be trying to shift Q that up. Does indeed shift Q it up, as well as force staff. And now kind of a wasted Naga ult there. It used to be a good way. Orbit still being caught out, though. Does have all the healing in the world to save him. Bear, though, being just absolutely melted. And now, because of that, I mean, he does have Bear available, but still, that was pretty rough. 300 gold going towards him. And with that, Roshan, and that, oh no, did Rubik fall as well? He did indeed. Looks like he got caught out right here by everybody who wasn't Scar or Yamhaten. Probably was caught out by Factor Fiction when it comes right down to it. Or possibly Jenkins as well. You now have Batrider picking up a Gem of True Sight, of course. Very, very good against this lineup. Will actually give you the ability to kill Weaver as well as Nature's Prophet whenever they come in. And it looks like with this, they're just going to push the advantage. And if we look at the gold graph, that big early game advantage that the Purple Canadians had, that I kept mentioning how Chen is so good early game, and Gyro's not bad, of course, but bad, of course, is very, very good early game. What have we got? Avanti's Angels. They are a very, very strong late game team, like obscenely strong. The Lifesteal is really coming into his own now, as well as the Weaver. They're doing very, very good. They're doing great, in fact. And because of that, now it's going to be really, really hard for the Purple Canadians to come back from this. Ablaze being cut out is always the first one to get targeted. It looks like Scar wants to get him back into base, but there was no second force staff there. Avanti, though, looks like he'll probably fall to Firefly. Does get bared to death, though. Jenkins, though, has not been... Oh, just barely. Looks like he got rooted there as well. Didn't matter. Bot back and time lapse back in as well. Just trying to make sure that we can get this, that they can get this. Rax as well. Minzy is here. The Bear's here, though. They really want that root on him. They get a nice troll net on him, though. Jenkins is here. Does not have time lapse available. If the Bear could actually attack, that might have gone a little bit differently. Scar, though, doing a huge amount of damage. Minzy will fall. Can't quite get away. And with that, these 2 Rax will definitely fall. And the Purple Canadians saying the GG. That was a fairly quick game, not too bad, and it looks like Avanti's Angels just outplaying them and trying to make it go a little bit too late for Purple Canadians lineup to really get rolling. So that was the 3rd game of the MLG North American League between Avanti's Angels and the Purple Canadians. I'm Briefcase, and thanks for watching.